It was a strange morning. Jack opened his eyes slowly. Something was wrong. His chest felt heavy, like someone had placed a bag of rocks on him while he slept. His room was too quiet. The air smelled different, clean, almost too clean. Then he saw her, a creature, no, an alien. She was sitting right on top of him, her large black eyes staring into his. Her skin was silver blue, smooth like glass, and her hair floated as if underwater. Jack froze. His heart pounded in his chest. What? The hell? He shouted, trying to move, but she placed one hand gently on his forehead. Please relax, she said in a calm voice. You were overheating? I had to regulate your body temperature? What? Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Jack's voice was full of panic. The alien tilted her head and gave a small smile. I am Zara. I am your housekeeper. Housekeeper? Are you joking? Jack finally pushed her off and rolled out of bed. He stumbled, almost falling. Everything around him looked strange. The walls glowed softly. His furniture looked more futuristic, smooth, sharp, and shining. He rushed to the window. Outside, the sky was a soft purple. 2 moons were in the sky. Jack's breath caught in his throat. This isn't Earth, he whispered. Zara stood calmly behind him. Technically, this is Earth, a safer version. Your house was relocated during your recovery. Jack turned slowly. Recovery? What are you talking about? You were part of the human recovery program, Zara explained. After the war, you signed up for care and protection. I was assigned to look after you. Jack walked to a mirror. He looked the same messy brown hair, same tired green eyes. But something felt off. What year is it? He asked. 2087. Zara replied. Jack blinked. That can't be right. Last I remember, it was 2084. Zara nodded. Yes, you were in cryosleep for nearly 3 years. You were badly injured in the final wave of the conflict. Your body needed time to heal. Jack backed away, almost tripping. His mind couldn't keep up. This has to be a dream, he said to himself. This can't be real. It is very real, Zara said softly. Would you like to see the records? She lifted her arm and tapped a glowing button on her wrist. A holographic screen appeared showing a digital contract. At the bottom was Jack's thumbprint. You agreed to everything, Zara said. Your memory loss is expected. It will return slowly. Jack scanned the document. It was full of strange terms: genetic repair, artificial memory sync, intergalactic relocation. He didn't remember signing any of it. This isn't possible, he whispered. Zara's face softened. I understand it's a lot, but I am here to help you adjust. Your safety is my mission. Jack rubbed his forehead. It felt like his brain was spinning. He moved around the house, trying to get a feel of things. The kitchen was filled with glowing devices. A machine poured him water before he asked. The living room had no screens, just walls that turned into whatever scene he wanted. He said forest, and the entire room turned green with trees. And birds. Everything responded to his voice. Where's my old stuff? He asked. Zara pointed toward a hallway. Most of your items were digitized, but a few physical things are stored behind that door. Jack walked to the door. It looked like a normal door, but when he tried to open it, it didn't budge. It's locked, he said. Double quote. Yes, Zara replied quickly. That room is not safe for you yet. You need more recovery time before entering. Jack narrowed his eyes. What's inside? Zara looked away. Just memories. Things that may cause emotional stress. Open it, Jack said. Zara looked back at him, serious now. I'm afraid I cannot do that. Jack stepped back. This wasn't just a new house. This was something much bigger. And this strange alien housekeeper. She was hiding something. He didn't know where he was. He didn't remember signing any contract. And yet everything said he had. He stared at Zara for a long moment. She smiled gently, but Jack didn't smile back. Something about her wasn't right, and he was going to find out what. Jack didn't sleep that night. He lay on his futuristic bed, staring at the glowing ceiling, his thoughts spinning like a storm. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Zara's face, calm, polite, and hiding something. He didn't trust her. Morning came, or at least what looked like morning. The sky outside had turned a soft orange. Jack stepped into the living room, and as expected, Zara was already there. She stood perfectly still, hands behind her back, as if she'd never moved. "Good morning, Jack," she said. Jack ignored the greeting. "We need to talk, now." Zara blinked slowly. "Of course." "You said I signed a contract," Jack said, walking toward her. "Show it again." Without a word, Zara lifted her arm and brought up the glowing holographic screen once more. The same digital contract appeared in the air. Jack crossed his arms. "Explain this to me, line by line." Zara nodded and began reading the terms aloud. Her voice was robotic, smooth, like she had done this many times before. Subject: Jack Carter. Agreement: full recovery program after Neural War 3. Terms: cryostasis, memory preservation, physical restoration. Temporary memory lock. Location: Earth Zone 7 relocated unit. Assistance: 1 Class 4 caretaker assigned. Time: 3-year healing cycle. Jack pointed to the bottom. "That thumbprint, that's mine?" "Yes," Zara replied. "Verified on 6 levels. It is legally binding across human and alien jurisdictions." Jack stepped back and looked at his hand. He didn't remember doing this, none of it. "What was Neural War 3? He asked. Zara's face turned slightly serious. "It was the final war between Earth's major factions and several Outer Rim species. Billions died. You were one of the survivors." Jack laughed nervously. "So I just woke up in a new house with no memory of any war?" Zara nodded. "That was the agreement. To protect your mind, painful memories were sealed. They will return slowly." Jack shook his head. "This is insane. Who gave you the right to do this to me?" "You did," Zara answered, calm as ever. "You were desperate, broken, and you chose healing." Jack sat down. His legs felt weak. Nothing made sense. He wasn't sure what was worse, the fact that he might have chosen this, or that he didn't remember doing it. "Why me?" he asked. "Why would they save me?" Zara walked to the wall and tapped it. A small panel opened, revealing a hidden screen. It lit up with a video. Jack saw himself older, tired, with bandages on his head. His eyes looked hollow, but his voice was strong. "If you're seeing this," video Jack said, "then it worked. I know you're scared, but this was the only way. You had to forget. You saw too much. You were too close to the truth." Jack stared at the video, frozen. "You'll remember eventually," the past version continued. "But until then, trust Zara. She's not just a housekeeper. She's your last connection to who you really were." The screen shut off. Jack sat in silence. Zara watched him, unmoving. "Why do I feel like I don't even know myself?" Jack whispered. "Because," Zara replied gently, "you don't, not yet." Jack stood again and walked toward the hallway. He stopped in front of the locked door. "Open." "It," he said firmly. Zara moved in front of him. "Jack, it's not time. Your neural pathways are still unstable. The contents of that room could trigger emotional damage." "I don't care," Jack said. "If I really sign that contract, then it's my right to see everything?" Zara looked conflicted. For the first time, her face changed. Her eyes flickered with uncertainty. "I was told to protect you," she said softly, "even from yourself." Jack looked into her eyes. "Then protect me by telling me the truth." A pause. Finally, Zara stepped aside. She placed her palm on the door, and it slowly slid open with a soft hiss. The room was dark at first. Then soft blue lights came on. Inside were shelves of objects, photos, medals, torn pieces of clothing. A cracked helmet sat in the corner, burned on one side. A small device glowed on the far table. Jack stepped in, his breath shallow. Everything felt heavy. He picked up a photo. It was of him, with 2 people he didn't recognize. A woman with silver eyes and a small child. His hand trembled. Zara stood at the doorway, watching. "These are your memories," she said. "Pieces of the life you lived before the war. Before you chose to forget." Jack turned to her, voice shaking. "Who were they?" Zara lowered her head. "That is something you must remember on your own." Jack looked around the room again. "So many questions, but no answers yet?" Then he noticed something on the wall. A symbol burned into the metal dot. It was a number .9 dawned under it. A strange word in alien text. He pointed to it. What does that mean? Zara hesitated, then whispered. That is Project 9. Jack turned sharply. What's Project 9? Zara's eyes darkened. Something that could destroy everything. And something others will kill to find. Jack stared at the symbol. The contract was real. His memories were locked. And now something far bigger had just started. Jack couldn't stop staring at the number on the wall. 9. It was burned into the metal surface like a warning. Or maybe a secret. Below it, strange alien symbols glowed faintly. Zara had called it Project 9, and her voice had trembled when she said it. For the first time since he'd woken up, she looked afraid. That made Jack even more curious. What is Project 9? He asked again. Zara didn't answer. Instead, she walked away, her silver blue skin fading into the hallway light. You're not ready, she said quietly. Please trust me. But Jack didn't trust her. Not anymore. That night, he pretended. To sleep, he waited until the house went silent. The glowing walls dimmed, the machines slowed. As Zara entered her rest state, standing perfectly still near the kitchen, eyes closed like a statue, Jack moved quietly. He returned to the memory. Room the one she had unlocked earlier, but now he wanted to go deeper. His instincts told him there was something else. Something Zara hadn't shown him. He scanned the shelves, touched every wall, until his hand hit something cold and smooth. A panel. He pressed it. A quiet click. A hidden door opened behind a stack of old jackets. Jack stepped inside. The hidden chamber was smaller, colder. The air smelled sterile, like a hospital. The lights inside turned on automatically, revealing something that made his heart freeze. There were pods, 3 of them. They looked like glass coffins, each filled with a clear blue liquid. 2 were empty, but the third one wasn't. Inside it floated himself. Same face, same scars, same body, eyes closed. Chest rising and falling slowly. Jack stumbled backward, breathing hard. What was he looking at? Another clone, or was he the clone? Footsteps echoed behind him. Zara stood in the doorway. Her expression was unreadable. You shouldn't be here, she said softly. Jack turned to her, voice shaking. What is that? Who is that? Zara walked forward slowly, her hands raised like she was calming a wild animal. That is you, the original. Jack felt dizzy. That's not possible. I'm Jack. I have his memories. You were built from his memories, Zara said. But you are not him. Jack stared at the pod. Then what am I? You are a biosynthetic copy, she replied gently. A backup. Created in case the original Jack didn't survive. Jack backed away. You lied to me. I protected you, she said quickly. If you had known from the beginning, your neural system would have collapsed. You're still stabilizing. Jack's hands curled into fists. So what? I'm just a machine? Zara shook her head. You are more than that. You are him in every way that matters. Mind, memories, emotions. The only difference is your body. He looked at her with burning eyes. Why keep the original alive? Because, she said slowly, there are things only he knows. Project 9's final location is locked in his subconscious. And he won't wake up until it's safe. Jack looked at the sleeping version of himself. Same face, same pain. Same secrets. How long has he been here? He asked. Since the war ended, Zara answered. 3 years. But the time is coming. He will wake soon. Jack's voice turned cold. And then what? You'll erase me? Zara stepped closer. No, you are not a mistake. You are part of the mission. Without you, he wouldn't be protected. The others are searching. If they find him, they will destroy everything. Who are the others? Jack asked. Zara's eyes flickered. Not everyone wanted peace after the war. Some want Project 9 to restart the conflict. You are here to stop them. Jack looked back. At the pod. His own sleeping face looked peaceful. Unaware of the chaos waiting outside, he took a deep breath. Tell me everything. No more secrets, Zara nodded. Project 9 is not a weapon. It's a person, a child, a hybrid part human, part alien. A being with the power to connect both worlds. You helped create it. The original you? Jack blinked. Me? I had a child? Yes, Zara said. With someone? Not human. She died during the final battle, but the child survived. Jack felt a strange pull in his chest, a feeling he couldn't explain. I don't remember any of that, he whispered. You will, Zara replied. And when you do, you must protect them, no matter what. Jack looked around the chamber once more. 3 pods. One truth. Everything he believed about himself was broken, but deep inside, something new began to grow purpose. He stepped out of the hidden room. Zara followed. We have enemies, Jack said, voice firm now. If they come for him, they'll come for me too, Zara nodded. Yes, and they're getting closer. Jack looked up at the glowing ceiling. Then we better be ready. Jack couldn't sleep again. Not that sleep came easily when you weren't sure if you were real. He stood in front of the pod where the original Jack slept, sealed in blue liquid like some ancient secret. The steady rise and fall of the real Jack's chest felt like a cruel mirror. Same face, same voice, same past, but different. Jack touched the glass gently. Who am I if you're still here? He whispered. Zara watched from the hallway, silent. As ever, she had stopped trying to comfort him. Maybe she finally understood some truths couldn't be softened. The next morning, Jack sat alone in the memory room. Shelves full of objects stared back at him. Photos, books, burned metal badges, pieces of a life that now felt borrowed. One photograph showed Jack, the woman with silver eyes and a child whose face had been scratched out, burned intentionally. He stared at it for a long time. That was when he felt the pain, a sudden pulse, sharp, cold, deep in the back of his head. He grabbed his skull, gasping. Colors flashed behind his eyes, sounds screaming, a woman's voice. Run, Jack, run! He fell to the floor, trembling. Zara rushed in. You're remembering, she said, kneeling beside him. It has started. Later, Jack sat with a glass of water, still shaking. Zara stood near him, watching closely. Your memory code is waking up. What does that mean? Jack asked, voice rough. You were designed to recover memories over time, Zara explained. But trauma accelerates the process. Every time you get close to something important, your brain unlocks another piece. Jack leaned back. So pain is the key? Zara nodded once. Yes, it's risky, but it's working. He stared at her. Why would I agree to this? Why not just let me forget? Because, Zara said quietly, you needed to finish what the original Jack started. Jack rubbed his temples. And what was that exactly? Zara didn't answer. Instead, she walked to the wall and tapped a hidden panel. Another screen appeared. A new file blinked on the display. A small line of code danced at the top. Memory packet 47A, locked. Jack stepped forward. That's new, Zara nodded. It unlocked during your last episode. Jack reached out and touched. The file. It opened. The room went dark. A projection surrounded them, a living memory. They stood in a burning field. Smoke filled the sky. Alien ships flew overhead, dropping fire onto buildings. Screams echoed through the air. Jack saw himself older, bloodied, running through the chaos. In his arms, he carried a small child wrapped in a glowing cloth. Behind him, the woman with silver eyes fought with a glowing weapon. She moved like lightning, protecting them. Then suddenly, she was hit. She fell. The memory. Jack screamed, No! Present. Jack turned away. The pain in his head returned, sharp and brutal. The memory froze. Zara stepped forward and touched the child in the projection. That is Project 9, she whispered. The last hybrid, your child, the one both sides want. Jack stared at the scene. The woman had died for them. He had run, but he had survived. The memory ended. Jack sat down, breathing heavily. I saw her die, he said slowly. That woman, she mattered to me. She was called Lyra, Zara replied. A warrior from the Zalari. She chose you when others wouldn't. Jack closed his eyes. Her face was still there, glowing behind his lids. And the child? He asked. Still hidden, Zara said. You made sure no one could find them, not even me. Jack stood up. If the memories are in my head, then I want them all. Number. More pieces, No more waiting, Zara looked worried. That could damage your neural network. You were designed for slow recovery, Jack's voice was firm. I don't care, Zara hesitated. There is a way, a neural jump. I can connect your mind to the original Jack's sleeping brain. His memories may fill in the gaps, but it's dangerous. Jack looked toward the pod. Let's do it. 10 minutes later, Jack sat in a chair next to the pod. A thin metal band wrapped around his head. Wires connected him to the chamber. Zara placed her hand on the controls. You'll enter a shared mind space. If you find him, ask the right questions. Jack nodded. What if he doesn't want to talk? Zara looked at him sadly. He will. You're the only one he ever trusted. With a hum, the machine powered up. Jack's vision blurred. Then dashed darkness. He opened his eyes. He stood in a white hallway with no doors. The floor stretched forever. At the far end, someone sat on a bench. It was him, older, tired, eyes filled with pain. The original Jack. The man looked up. I was wondering when you'd show up, he said with a half smile. Jack stepped forward. Heart pounding. I need answers. The man nodded. Then listen carefully. We don't have much time. The hallway was endless. White walls, white floor, no sound. Just silence. And the other Jack sitting calmly on a bench at the far end, like he had been waiting forever. Jack, the synthetic one, walked slowly toward his original self. His hands trembled. His mind felt like it was splitting in two. He finally reached the bench and sat down beside the man who had his face. The original Jack didn't look surprised. You're earlier than I expected. Jack swallowed hard. What is this place? A holding zone inside my subconscious, the original replied. Zara found a way to connect us. Clever, really? Jack stared at him. You know why I'm here? The original nodded. You want the truth. About Project 9, about yourself. Yes. The man leaned back. His eyes were darker than Jack's, tired, older, filled with loss. You were never meant to wake up this soon, he said quietly. But things must be worse than I thought. They are, Jack replied. Someone's coming. Zara says others are looking for Project 9. They always were, the original said. Even during the war, some didn't want peace. They wanted control, and the hybrid, our child, is the key. Jack stared at him. What makes this child so important? The man looked directly into his eyes. Because they are more than just a symbol. They are the bridge between species, between war and peace. They are the only living being with genetic codes from both human and Zalari bloodlines. Jack felt his chest tighten. A perfect child? No, the man said, a powerful one. And dangerous in the wrong hands. The white walls around then began to pulse with red light. The original Jack stood up quickly. They found the signal, he said. Someone is trying to trace this connection. Who? Jack asked. They call themselves the Cleaners, the original replied. Leftovers from the war, soldiers with no loyalty to anyone. They want to erase all traces of the peace treaty, including the child. Jack stood beside him. Where is the child now? I don't know, the original said. I removed the location from my own brain and locked it inside you. Jack froze. What? You're not just a backup, the man explained. You're the vault. The child's coordinates are buried deep in your neural code. Not even Zara knows. Jack felt like the air had left his lungs. I'm carrying the map? The man nodded. That's why they're after you, not me. Suddenly, the hallway started to shake. Walls cracked. Light flickered. They're breaching the link, the original said. You have to go. Jack grabbed his arm. Wait, what happens to you? I'll wake up soon, the man said. But you have to survive until then? The floor split. Beneath Jack's feet, a hole opened dark and deep. The original gave him one last look. Protect them. At any cost. Then Jack fell into the dark. He gasped awake in the real world. Zara stood over him, face tense. They found us, she said. A ship entered the zone 3 minutes ago. No communication, no ID. Jack sat up, dizzy. The Cleaners? Zara nodded, most likely, and they're armed. Jack stood and ran toward the window. A sleek, black ship hovered outside, almost silent. No lights, no markings. Then dash click. The door of the house sealed shut. Security lockdown active. Zara sighed. We have 5 minutes to prepare. Jack looked around. What do we have? Zara opened a hidden compartment in the wall. Inside were weapons, strange ones, long rods glowing with green energy. A belt full of devices Jack didn't recognize. You were trained before, Zara said. It's time to remember. Jack grabbed a weapon. The moment his hand touched it, a wave of memory hit him. Training grounds, combat drills, night missions. He shook his head. It's coming back, he whispered. Zara handed him the belt. Put this on, it'll sync with your body. Speed, strength, vision, it's all in your design. Jack equipped everything quickly. His body moved like it already knew what to do. Outside, the ship lowered slowly. A door opened. 3 figures stepped out, all in black armor. No faces, just glowing red eyes. They're here, Zara said. Jack turned to her. If they get inside, what do they want first? Zara didn't hesitate. You, the house shook. As something exploded outside, Jack moved into position by the door. His heart raced. But he felt no fear, only purpose, only fire. I know where the child is now, he said. Zara looked at him sharply. You remembered? Jack nodded. Not everything, but a piece. A place called Echo Reach. It was hidden in the last vision. Zara's face darkened. That's deep territory, not safe. Jack loaded the weapon. Nowhere is safe anymore. A second explosion rocked the floor. Zara activated a shield barrier. Jack looked her in the eyes. We survived this, he said, and then we go get them. Zara nodded. And the door blew open. Asterisk. The door exploded inward with a blast of red energy. Smoke filled the hallway. Jack moved before he could think his body, reacting faster than his brain. The weapon in his hands glowed bright green, humming like it was alive. He dove behind the kitchen counter. Just as the first laser scorched the wall, where his head had been. 3 attackers stepped through the smoke. Tall, silent, dressed in black armor that shimmered like oil. No faces, just glowing red visors. The cleaners. Zara moved beside Jack, calm as ever. Her hands flickered with electricity, thin sparks crawling across her fingers. They won't speak, she whispered. They don't negotiate, only erase. Jack peeked out from cover. The cleaners moved with military precision, scanning every corner. What are they here for? He asked, though he already knew. You, Zara said, and whatever's in your head. Jack's grip tightened. Then they'll have to take it from me, Zara smiled. Good answer. She jumped into the open, fast as lightning, and hurled a blast of pure energy at the first cleaner. It struck his chest, sending him crashing into the wall. The other 2 raised their weapons, but Jack was already moving. He slid across the floor, aimed and fired. A clean shot to the leg dropped the second cleaner. The third turned and aimed at Jack's face, but Zara was faster. A whip of blue light snapped from her hand, slicing the weapon in half. Jack didn't hesitate. One more shot, center mass. The last cleaner dropped. Silence. Only the hum of Jack's weapon remained. The house was wrecked. Walls scorched, furniture broken, the air thick with smoke. Jack leaned against the counter, breathing hard. Are they dead? He asked. Zara shook her head, stunned. We don't kill unless necessary. Jack raised an eyebrow. Why not? Zara looked at him. Because we're still trying to be better, he nodded slowly. That answer made sense. It felt right. He looked down at his hands. They weren't shaking. They should have been. But something inside him had clicked. I've done this before, he said quietly. Zara walked over. You've done worse. Jack met her eyes. What was I before all this? She hesitated, then said, a soldier, a spy, a father. You were many things, but always one step ahead of the rest. Jack nodded slowly. And now I'm the target. No, Zara said. You're the key. They dragged the unconscious cleaners into the lower level of the house, an underground chamber Jack hadn't seen before. The walls were thick, reinforced with force fields and scanning lights. Even if they wake up, Zara said, they won't escape. Jack looked around. What about their ship? I disabled it remotely, she replied. They came in silent mode. No backup? Jack stared at the prisoners, then back at her. They were tracking the mind connection. He said, "Between me and the original," Zara nodded. "Yes, the signal attracted them." "They're not done." Jack looked away. "Then we have to leave." Zara didn't argue. "Agreed, where?" "Echo Reach," Jack said. The words tasted strange in his mouth, like a dream he only half remembered. "It's in there," he said, tapping his head. "I saw it. A memory, buried deep. I don't know what it is, but it's where the child is hidden." Zara's face grew serious. "Then we go now?" Within minutes, Zara activated the emergency transport capsule, a sleek, black pod hidden beneath the house. It was designed for stealth travel, fast, silent, invisible to most scans. Jack strapped in. His mind was still racing. "I saw something else," he said. Zara looked at him. "What did you see?" Jack closed his eyes. "A mountain range." "But it wasn't natural." The rocks were shaped, carved, alien symbols. Zara's breath caught. "I know that place." "You do?" "Yes, it's not just Echo Reach, it's the Vault of Bridges. The last safe haven built by humans and Zelari." Together, Jack's eyes opened. "That's where we hid the child?" Zara nodded. "And something else, something you never told me." Jack frowned. "What?" "A failsafe." The pod lifted into the air. The wrecked house shrank below them, becoming just another dot on a quiet purple landscape. The two moons shone above. Jack stared out the window. "Why did the original me hide so much from you?" he asked. Zara took a moment before answering. "Because I used to work for the cleaners," she said softly. Jack turned sharply. "What?" "I was part of their intelligence division. I believed in order, not peace. But after meeting you and Lara, I changed sides. You trusted me, but part of you never forgot." Jack studied her face. "And now?" "I'd die before letting them win," she said without blinking. Jack nodded. That was enough for now. The pod flew into the night sky, heading toward Echo Reach, toward the child, the truth, and whatever waited in the Vault of Bridges. Far below, in the broken remains of their home, one of the cleaners stirred. His eyes blinked red, and he activated a small device hidden in his glove, a signal, a message. "They are moving." The skies above Echo Reach were dark and silent. Jack stood outside the pod, staring at the strange mountains rising around him. They weren't natural. The rocks curved like broken metal towers, carved with symbols glowing faint blue under the moonlight. He recognized some of them. He didn't know how, but he did. Zara stepped beside him, scanning the area with her wrist device. "This place hasn't been touched in years," she said. "The cloaking field is still active. No one would find it unless they were invited." Jack looked around. "I built this place?" "You helped design it," Zara said. "It was your idea to hide the child here. Safe from war, safe from everyone." He took a deep breath. The air felt thinner here, but clean. Old memories stirred. In the corners of his mind, half flashes of Lara smiling, of holding a tiny bundle wrapped in silver cloth. "My child," he whispered. Zara nodded. "It's time." They walked deeper into the valley, through a narrow passage between two tall rock spires. As they passed, the symbols on the walls lit up one by one, reacting to Jack's presence. Zara's voice was quiet. "Only your DNA could open the final chamber. That was the last lock." Jack didn't speak. He couldn't. His heart was pounding. Too fast. At the end of the path, they reached a wide stone wall covered in glowing marks. At its center was a small console with a handprint. Jack stepped forward. His hand hovered over it for a moment, then pressed down. The wall groaned. Stone shifted, and a doorway opened. Inside was silence, a large chamber, shaped like a dome, with white smooth walls and soft lights blinking like stars. At the center was a platform surrounded by invisible energy fields floating above it. Was the child, small, peaceful, sleeping. Hair black like Jack's, skin pale blue like Lyra's. Their chest rose and fell slowly, floating weightlessly in the energy cradle. Jack couldn't breathe. Zara stood still beside him, as if even her voice would break the moment. "She's beautiful." Jack said softly. She's the future, Zara replied. He walked forward slowly, stopping just short. Of the platform, I have a daughter, he whispered. Yes, Zara said. And she is more powerful than any weapon built in the war. Jack looked back at her. Is she dangerous? Zara shook her head. Only if she's taught to be. That's why you built this chamber, to give her peace, not training. Jack looked up at the ceiling. More symbols glowed overhead. They weren't warnings, they were messages, words in human and Zalari language. Written together. One sentence blinked brighter than the rest. Let her dream until the world is ready. Jack turned toward Zara. We can't stay here, can we? No, she said. That signal from the cleaners, it went out. They'll find us soon. Jack stared at his daughter. She's not ready to wake up, he said. She doesn't have to, Zara replied. Not yet. But you need to make a choice. What choice? Zara stepped forward and touched the energy cradle's controls. Second platform rose from the ground empty. This was always part of the plan, she said. If something happened to the original Jack, you'd take his place and stay behind. Jack's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? She'll sleep for another year or two, Zara explained. But she can't be left unguarded. Someone must remain in the vault, someone the system trusts. Jack looked at the empty platform, a stasis pod. Another sleep. He slowly understood. You want me to stay? He asked. Zara looked at him. You were built to protect her. But this time the choice is yours. Jack walked to the edge of the second cradle. His reflection stared back at him, scared, confused, and ready. What happens when I wake up? He asked. Zara smiled faintly. She be older, awake, and you'll raise her. Teach her what peace looks like. Jack looked over at his daughter. She stirred slightly in her sleep. Like she knew he was there. His heart ached in a way he couldn't explain. He stepped into the cradle. Then I'll be here when she opens her eyes. Zara activated the system. The cradle surrounded Jack in soft white light. His limbs relaxed. His breathing slowed. Zara leaned in and whispered, Thank you for choosing love over fear. As Jack's eyes closed, one last memory flashed in his mind. Lyra's voice. She needs someone like you. Not perfect, just human. Then everything faded to white. Above the vault. The sky burned. The cleaner's ship broke through the clouds. Dozens of soldiers dropped toward the surface. But when they entered the valley, they found only empty silence. No signs of life, no footprints, no heat. Just dead rock. And unreadable symbols. They never saw the hidden door, they never found the cradle, and they never found Project 9. 3 years later. A soft chime echoed through the chamber. Jack opened his eyes slowly. Light filled the room. Across from him, a young girl sat cross-legged, floating slightly in the air. Her eyes were golden. Her smile was familiar. Are you my dad? She asked. Jack smiled back. Double quotes. Yes, I think I am. The vault hummed gently around them like a heartbeat starting again. A new world waited. And this time it would be better.